So, hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This is your boy Sam, and thank you for being part of Sam's Financial Corner. I appreciate all the love, all the support, all the feedback. I appreciate it all. I just want to take a moment to just really say thank you. So, with that being said, let's get into the video because people don't like their time wasted, and neither do I. So we're going to talk about Mainvest, and it's another one of those crowdsourcing sites like WeFunder. Go check out my other video where I talk about WeFunder. It's a good video, and about TribeVest. Again, great sites. I encourage you all to use them. Of course, I don't get paid for it. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I did. I wish I got paid. It'd be nice to be. One day it'll happen. I know it will. But for right now, it's not, and that's cool. But I would show you the site, but my camera is acting real wonky on my laptop, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. But Mainvest basically is a crowdsourcing or crowdfund sourcing site that allows investors to, or allows, I want to put it this way, it allows startups to crowdsource to get funding for various business activities to really get their businesses either off the ground or to kind of for growth or sustainability. Um, so Mainvest is set up pretty much like WeFunder. And again, go check out my video on WeFunder. It's very good. And the one thing I like about my videos is you can low-key treat them like a podcast. Like you can listen, you don't have to watch, but it's still a lot of good information. And remember, knowledge is elevation, and we all want to get our money up. But we can't get our money up if we don't tell our money to do something for us. We have to give our money a command to move and get more for us. And that's what investing is about. There is inherent risk, absolutely. But in life, there's nothing but risk. And so if you play it safe and take no risk, you'll have an unhappy life. But anyway, let's get into the video. So basically, it's the site gives you the name, and there is one. I'm not recommending or telling you to invest in this. I'm just telling you this one. And the one I'm using for an example is called Snowbelt Cannabis. They're in Jamestown, New York. So it gives you information. They can go visit their website, and then the information or data about the organization is broken up into 4 parts: investment opportunity, data room, updates, and discussion. The investment opportunity basically gives you more of the pitch, who they are, what they want to do, what their goals are, what their expectations, who they are as an organization. Here they talk about community engagement, market opportunities. They're talking about the U.S. Marijuana retail forecast, and they give you some projections here. So just overall about the organization, the industry that they're in, and what they want to do. The next tab is the data room, and that's where it gives you just data about how they plan on using the funds. That's always very important when you're looking at a startup. How do they plan to utilize the funds? Because you don't want to, no matter what, anything can happen with the startup, but you always want to see how they are going to spend the money. How are they going to invest it? Because, of course, you want them to grow the business. Why? Because they grow the business. You get a proportion of it. So they tell you their proposed, what they feel that their sales will be, cost of goods sold, insurance, operating profit. So basically they give you, a P&L projection for the next 5 years, what's their target, where the company is, any risk factors, and that's always important. Always know the risk involved. There's always risk with any investment. But always just pay attention to that and take the time to really read these things and never ever invest. I can't stress this enough. Do not invest in something that you're not comfortable with. If you don't feel you know enough, don't do it. Wait till you know enough and feel comfortable. People are like, but I don't want to miss opportunities. Yeah, but you don't want the anxiety of everyone. God, I wonder what's this going to do, and your brain going about. No, you don't do that to yourself. Invest in what you know and feel comfortable. Take the time to read this. They also have a section that says you might lose your money. That's just it. And it's a possibility with any investment. And what I love with organizations, those that I look to invest in, I don't look for it. I want you to understand this. This is very, very, look at me. Turn it. Look, invest in companies that are going to give you transparency. That is so important. Any company can give you a sales pitch to hype you up and want you to invest. Of course, companies are supposed to pitch what it is they have. But companies that are transparent, in my opinion, I'm more inclined to invest in them because they're like, this is the true picture. I'm not going to just zero in on the good stuff. I'm going to give you a true picture of where we are as an organization, where we want to go, some of the things that we've experienced, and what things could hurt us in the long run, so that you have a clear picture of whether this would be a good investment for you. And organizations like that tend to be honest, in my opinion, I feel that they're just a better investment. That still doesn't mean you can't lose your investment, because anything can happen. But I tend to like to invest in companies that are transparent, and you should too. They also have an updates section where they can give you updates on what they're doing, any press releases, just anything about the organization. And finally, they have a discussion tab. And so the discussion tab is where you can ask questions, people post, etc. And I think this is a good way for you to have questions. You can get answers. What I like about the discussion tab is that it's also a place, like I said, where you can ask questions. And what I like is, what I really want to say, this is what I want to say. When an organization is highly responsive on these type of sites, I feel more encouraged and confident to invest in them. If I see people posting questions and the organization is not, there was one that I saw a while back. I believe it was something that it was either solar power. They had a great business model, and I was very excited about it. But when I'm looking at the questions or the discussion, they were not responding to anyone. That goes to show that you don't value your investors, in my opinion, and I don't like that. Then I'm not investing in an entity where I see that you have people who are either have invested or are interested in, and you're not answering their questions. So I look for that responsiveness, and you should too. One thing I want to mention, because the group that I am, we did invest with an organization on Mainvest, and we were looking at them, and I want to make this differentiation between, I'll say it this way. I want to make sure I say it correctly. You're still an investor, but the type of investor you are, you may not understand. So when these startups, you have to be aware of what kind of investor you are. So when we were looking at the startup that we were going to invest in, we were looking at it, fellow tribe member pulled up the SEC filings, and I said, and I was reading through it, I was like, boop, 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 boop. And I said, okay, this is a debt investment. And he said, huh? What do you mean? He said, no, we're investing. We're going to be part owners. And I'm like, no, we're not. We're investing in the organization. But when you're looking at, so for example, Mainvest basically says you get an investment multiple. So I'll use Snowbelt Cannabis, for example. I'm interested in investing in cannabis. Some people have their issues with that. I don't care. It is what I like, and that's it. And you invest in whatever you like. Now, they tell you it's a 1.8 investment multiple. And what that means is, let's say, for example, you invest $100 in them. You get, let me say it again. So because my brain froze for a second, and I don't know why that happened. But anyway, and I'm not going to cut that out either, because sometimes, that just happens. That's just how these videos are. But anyway, you invest $100. They say over a certain period, they'll pay you back the principal plus the interest. And that's why I say it's more of a debt instrument. And not, a lot of times when we invest in startups and stuff, we automatically make the assumption that it's an equity investment, or it has the potential to turn into an equity investment. You're still invested, but some people, when they invest, they think that it turns into equity, it can become stock, and they're a stockholder. And that's normally not the case. With Mainvest, you have to look at it. You're still investing, but more basically, you're letting them borrow money. They say, hey, you let us borrow this, we'll pay you back this principal plus interest. And so that's why I say you are an investor, but it's also more of a debt instrument. So I want you to understand that, and I can talk about another video about, investing and what equity investing looks like versus debt investing or, bonds, because that's kind of what this is. Basically, you're giving them money. They're like, okay, well, we promise we'll utilize this money. We can't guarantee, but we say, hey, you let us do this, we'll pay you back over this part in time. So over a set period of time. And I think that's important. So again, I think it's important for you to know. I think there's sites like Mainvest, which are absolutely good. Again, when you invest, they do give you a lot of information. Read the information, read the contract, read all of the information that they provide to you so that you understand truly what you're investing in. Also understand that with these, a lot of times people want liquidity. They want to get in and do something, and then they want to see, double, triple, whatever. They want a big return, or they want to see this 0.8 multiple in 3 months, and that may not be the case. It can be years. And there's also a possibility that you might not get anything from this. And that's very, very important to understand, that there's a possibility of loss with any investment there is. And startups can be very risky. They can be profitable, but also there's a lot of inherent risk involved. So I just want to say that overall, I think Mainvest is a good site. I encourage you to check them out. Just always make sure you take the time to read. And I know a lot of times we don't want to. It's better if people have a video, but when it comes to your investments, please take the time to learn everything that you can. All right, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. Why? Because we need to all get our money up. All right.